as we know, the government has given time till May 2032 for LIC to reduce the promoter shareholding stake so that it could meet the minimum public shareholding guidelines that SEBI has. Now, remember that this was to be achieved by 2024. So now this extension comes in, which gives the company as well as the government more time to achieve this. Essentially, the government has to offload about 21.5% stake, depending on the current shareholding structure. What SEBI allows companies like this to do is you could go through an OFS route, you could go for QIPs, ETFs, as well as employee shares to reduce the stake. Typically, companies go with one of these multiple means available. Most people have not done a mix of various routes to reduce promoter shareholding and increase public shareholding. In the LIC case specifically, the government is likely to go for the OFS route. But if they do that, then there's a problem, because it's 21.5%, and over a 10-year period, that would be roughly about 2% every year. LIC's current market cap is in excess of 5 lakh crore. So that would mean that over 1 lakh crore rupees worth of shares will be floating around in the market if the government does go for OFS, which will, of course, end up depressing value. The current free float is quite thin. The share price, LIC, while it has gone up over the last few months, we are still far behind the IPO price of about 949 rupees per share. So that's going to be an issue that the government will have to deal with and will have to consider while they go ahead with this kind of a share sale. Now, remember that the government itself does have the power to change the timeline as much as it wants to, because currently in a public sector entity, the government can decide whether it wants to achieve the minimum public shareholding or not. That's a call that the government can take, and by the end of this 2032 period, it could very well be that the government takes more time to achieve the MPS requirements.